Hi, welcome to Talking and Reading from Japan. I'm your host, Hidemi Woods. I'll read an episode from the books I wrote and talk about it or anything I feel like talking here. I hope you enjoy with me. Today, I'll read an episode from one of my memoirs titled The Girl in Kyoto. And today's episode is about it's about our family's annual stupid competition of New Year's. It's called New Year Cards Competition. New Year Cards Competition. Unlike Christmas cards, Japanese New Year cards arrive all at once on New Year's Day morning. I used to live with my grandfather, and it was his biggest delight to take in all cards for the whole family from our mailbox and sort them by family member's name. He kept a log of the number of cards that each of us received every year. To him, the number reflected power in our family. The one who received most cards had the biggest power. That was him every year because he represented our family. Distributing the sorted cards, he would announce proudly the standings of the year. My personal record was 63 cards when I was 16, and I got the second place to my grandfather ahead of my father that year. Time has passed. I left home. My grandfather passed away, and the stupid competition ended. By the way, this year the number of New Year cards for me was 0. That was today's episode. This is about Japanese New Year cards and the system of receiving New Year's cards in Japan is quite unique. First of all, like Christmas cards, you write them, and then you drop them in the mailbox on the street. But it's suggested by the post office that they are dropped before a certain date of December, like until 18th or the 20th of December. And you, on that New Year's cards, you need to write a specific mark for that special delivery, because it would be mixed with other pieces of mail, and it's a big trouble if the New Year's cards accidentally arrives before New Year's. So you need a specific mark on your New Year's cards that is on the surface of the card. You need to write New Year's greetings, and then line line it with a red pen to be stood out. And most of New Year's cards that are sold in the city, in around the city, has the mark already written, printed on the surface of the cards, and you drop it drop them into the mailbox, which usually in Japan usually has 2 slots, so like a narrow slits of the mouth of the mailbox, and you put your New Year's cards there. But in those mailing time is quite special time for Japanese people who quite send those cards in a big volume, and so the one slit is specifically assigned for New Year's cards, and you put your New Year's cards there, and postal workers collect them and hold them at the office until the New Year. And on the New Year's Day, they deliver them all at once to each household. Less and less people send them lately because of email or SNSs, but sending post New Year's cards was used to be a big one of the main customs that Japanese people had. And on the New Year's Day morning, my grandfather rushed to the mailbox of my family and get them for the whole family members, and he would sort them out like a postal worker by himself, and deliver them to each member of the family. All my life, until I left home, I had lived with my grandparents, and so he he really liked to count the New Year's cards for each member, and he kept standings on his small notebook every year. So he had a record kept by himself. So I had never understood that importance for him, but it was a huge event for him, and that was one of the way he showed his power in the family, or the way he knew he still held the main power in the family. He was a dictator of my family, and we everybody in my family followed his way, followed his orders. He was the ruler of the family, and so he, with the number of the New Year's cards he received, he made sure he was the righteous one to rule the family. And it was so annoying, to be honest, for other members of my family. Everybody except my grandfather hated this custom. And he announced the numbers of each family triumphantly, because he always won in this stupid competition. He always won, not because he worked outside or he had social life outside the family, but because he was the representative of the family. So if someone if some acquaintance of my family wanted to greet New Year's with a New Year card, he or she would send it to my grandfather as a family greeting. So his number included our family's number, so to speak. But he counted them as his own number. So he announced us that he won this year too. But no one beside him never thought we participated that competition. He was the one who resided the competition and won the competition. He was the only one who enjoyed that competition. And one year, I got many New Year's cards for myself because I was a high school student then, and I got for some reason I got popular suddenly, and my friends gave many New Year cards. Many of my friends gave me New Year cards, so the number exceeded my father, which intrigued my grandfather so much, and he kept saying to my father, "You lost to your daughter. You lost to your daughter. Your daughter surpassed your number," which, as I said, no one cared. And my father, unlike my grandfather, my father wasn't interested in power or anything. He was a very obedient servant of my grandfather. And so he didn't care, or he didn't of of be he wasn't offended by my grandfather's comment. But I was so annoyed by my grandfather's attitude. It's not because I wanted any power in my family, but it just simply looked so stupid. I didn't understand. I didn't understand what is the point of this number announcement or the accumulation of the New Year cards we received. But every time the New Year's Day comes, I remember this competition and my grandfather's cheerful face. And I think I miss him. I didn't want to, but I don't want to participate this competition again. But if my grandfather were alive now, he would laugh at me so hard because every year I received no New Year's cards, none, because after I left home for Tokyo to be a musician, my friends are all gone. I mean, I left my friends too. So, I don't have friends, and so it's less and less. My social life is less and has been smaller and smaller because I'm doing I'm not working outside. I'm just writing songs or writing books at home. So less and less acquaintances I got. The New Year's cards are fewer and fewer accordingly. So now I have a 0 streak for years now. And if I suppose, I imagine how my grandfather would tease me about this number, and how he laugh at me, and how he talk to me, how he would show his power, his really great power compared to me. And I can imagine so easily his happy face of his dominant victory of this competition. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for listening. I'm Hidemi Woods. If you are interested in other books of mine, or my music, my songs, or anything, including my merchandise I design, you can visit hidemiwoods.com, HIDEMI.com, where every link is available. I really appreciate you join me today and listen to my reading of my book. I hope you join me again soon, and I can share time with you again. Thanks again. Until next time, take care and be well.